Beloved, we are living in a time unlike any other. The world trembles, nations rage, and the earth itself seems to groan as though it is waiting for something greater than politics, greater than wars, greater than all the systems of man. Deep in every heart, there is a sense that history is not just drifting aimlessly. No, it is moving toward an appointed hour. We are not here by accident. We were born for such a time as this. The signs are increasing, the trumpet is nearer, and the pages of prophecy are unfolding before our very eyes. September 2025 stands before us, not as just another month, but as a reminder, a countdown echoing through time, that the King is coming, that the bride must be ready, and that eternity is at the door. Look at the world darkness rising, confusion spreading, morality collapsing. Yet amid the chaos, light shines brighter for those who watch, for those who stay awake, for those who do not grow weary in waiting. Just as Noah prepared the ark when others mocked, just as the wise virgins kept their lamps filled with oil, so we too must live ready, because in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, everything will change. The question is not when exactly the day will be. The question is, will we be found ready? Will our hearts be pure, our faith steadfast, our eyes fixed on the one who promised to return? For if the world is counting down with fear, we must count down with hope. If the world sees September as another month, we must see it as a reminder of eternity, a whisper of the soon coming trumpet. This is not the time for compromise. This is not the hour to slumber. This is the hour to rise, to lift your head, for your redemption is drawing near. Every trial, every tear, every battle you've faced has been preparing you for this moment. Do not give up now. Do not let the enemy steal your crown. The finish line is before you, and the reward is eternal. So live as if September could be the month, live as if the trumpet could sound tonight, walk in holiness, love in truth, forgive quickly, pray without ceasing, and let your light shine in the darkness. Because when that day comes, whether in September or any moment, those who are ready will not be caught in fear, but in joy. The countdown is not a warning of despair, but a call to hope, a call to urgency, a call to prepare. The bridegroom is near, the hour is late, and soon, very soon, the sky will open, the trumpet will sound, and we shall be caught up to meet him forever, live ready. The countdown has begun. History is not random. The world does not spin in chaos without direction. Nations rise and fall, empires come and go, kings rule and kings are dethroned. Yet behind it all there is a divine hand, a purpose, a plan moving everything toward an appointed hour. What seems to man as chance is in truth a countdown. What the world calls coincidence, heaven calls prophecy. The events of today are not isolated moments, they are threads in a tapestry woven long ago, and that tapestry is nearing its completion. Look at the course of history. It has always been marked by appointed times. Israel's exodus did not happen by chance. It was foretold to Abraham hundreds of years earlier. The birth of Messiah did not happen randomly. It came at the fullness of time. The destruction of the temple, the scattering of the Jewish people, even their return to the land in our generation, none of it was coincidence. Each moment had a season, an appointment, a divine clock ticking behind the scenes. And now we stand in a world that feels as though it is unraveling, wars escalating, morality collapsing, truth twisted, light despised, and darkness celebrated. Yet none of this is outside of God's control. The shaking of the nations, the turmoil in the earth, the rising of powers, and the downfall of others. These are not accidents. These are signs that history is moving forward faster and faster toward the fulfillment of the greatest promise yet to be revealed. The countdown is real, though the world mocks it. Just as people mocked Noah while he built the ark, so now the world laughs at prophecy, blind to what is about to break open. The days of Noah were filled with ordinary life, marrying, eating, drinking, until the flood came. The days of Lot were filled with business, buying, selling, planning, building until fire rained down. The days of now are filled with the same blindness. People say, where is his coming? Everything continues as it always has, but history is not continuing aimlessly. It is racing toward its appointed climax. What makes this moment different is not just the condition of the world, but the convergence of signs. Never before have so many prophetic streams aligned at once. The regathering of Israel, the unrest of nations, the global shaking, the rise of lawlessness, the cries for peace and safety, the moral collapse, it is all converging. And this convergence declares one thing: the appointed hour is near. It is as though the universe itself feels it. The creation groans, waiting for the revealing. The nations tremble. The powers of darkness rage. Even time feels shortened, days rushing by, seasons changing faster, history accelerating. It is as though heaven's clock ticks louder with each passing day, announcing to those with ears to hear that eternity is about to invade time. You were not placed in this generation by chance. You are here because God ordained it. You are here because you are part of the final chapter. Every breath you take is within this countdown. Every choice you make echoes into eternity. The world thinks it is free, but it is bound by the appointed time. Kings and rulers believe they hold power, but their authority is borrowed and temporary. The powers of darkness think they are winning, but their end has already been written. History is not an endless road. It is a line with a beginning and an end, and we are nearing the final pages. The trumpet is not just a distant sound. It is a note already resonating through creation, waiting for the moment when it will split the sky. Everything that has happened, the rise of nations, the scattering and return of God's people, the unfolding of prophecy, even the trials you face, are leading to that moment. The question is not if the appointed hour will come. It is already written. The question is, will you be ready when it does? September, to most, it is just another month, another page on the calendar, another cycle of days and nights. But for those who watch, for those who understand that history is not drifting aimlessly, but marching toward a divine appointment, September has always carried a mystery. Again and again, throughout the course of history, it has stood as a month of turning points, of shaking, of prophetic fulfillment. It whispers with significance, as though heaven itself marked it on eternity's calendar. And now, September 2025 stands before us like a doorway, one that demands our attention, one that calls us to ask, is this the chosen time? Consider the patterns. In September, seasons change, the summer ends, the harvest nears completion, and a new cycle begins. In the biblical calendar, September often aligns with the season of the fall feasts. Feast of Trumpets, Day of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles. These were not mere rituals, but rehearsals, prophetic appointments pointing to things yet to come. Trumpets signal awakening, atonement speaks of judgment and mercy, and Tabernacles looks forward to dwelling with God forever. Each one points to the end of days, to the moment when heaven and earth collide. It was in September that empires have risen and fallen. It was in September that wars began and ended, that judgments fell and destinies shifted. Again and again, it has proven to be a season of divine convergence where the natural and spiritual collide. Could it be that September 2025 holds a weight beyond imagination? Could it be that it is not just another month, but a prophetic marker in the countdown of eternity? The signs of our time are undeniable. The world is trembling on every side. The powers of the earth are unstable, economies falter, violence increases, and morality collapses. The voices of the prophets grow louder, the warnings more urgent. And into this storm comes the mystery of September, a reminder that the final trumpet could sound at any moment, that the appointed time could be nearer than we think. But here is the danger. Many will look at September and see only another month. They will eat, drink, buy, sell, and live as though nothing is at stake. They will treat prophecy as a story, not a reality. They will miss the signs of the season and be caught unprepared when the hour strikes. The wise, however, will not dismiss the season. They will not set dates, but they will discern the times. They will see the weight of September as a call to wake up, to purify, to prepare, to stand ready for what is coming. What makes this particular September even more compelling is the convergence we now face. Never has the world stood so globally unified in unrest. Never has Israel been so central to the stage of history. Never has technology aligned so perfectly with prophecy, nor morality sunk so deeply into lawlessness. Never has the sense of urgency been greater. It is as though all of history is pressing into this moment, as though creation itself is holding its breath, waiting to see what unfolds. If September 2025 is indeed marked on heaven's calendar, then we cannot treat it lightly. This is not a time for distraction. This is not the hour to compromise or delay. This is the moment to search our hearts, to fill our lamps with oil, to lift our eyes, because redemption is near. Even if the trumpet does not sound in this very September, the season itself testifies of what is coming soon. It is a rehearsal, a foreshadowing, a reminder that time is short and eternity is near. So do not dismiss the month. Do not treat it casually. See it for what it may truly be, a chosen season, a prophetic marker, a divine countdown. September 2025 may yet prove to be a month that history remembers forever. The wise will be awake. The wise will be ready. And when the hour strikes, they will not be caught in fear, but in the joy of knowing they were prepared. The question of the hour is not when. It has never been when. From the beginning, The mystery of the end was not meant to be pinned to calendars, to predictions, to human charts and guesses. The Messiah himself declared that no one knows the day or the hour, not even the angels of heaven. Why? Because the greater question is not the date of his return, but the state of our hearts when he comes. The question is not, when will he come? The question is, will you be ready when he does? Think of it. If you knew the exact day, if you knew the exact hour, would you not be tempted to delay, to drift, to live as if there were still time to waste? But the truth is more urgent, more piercing. You do not know the hour, and that is the mercy of God, for the uncertainty is not meant to confuse you, but to keep you awake, to stir your spirit, to call you to readiness every moment of every day. The great danger of this generation is not that the hour will surprise the world. That has always been the case. The danger is that it will also surprise those who call themselves prepared. Many will say, I believe, yet their lamps are empty. Many will say, I watch, yet they are distracted, lulled to sleep by the noise of the world. Many will say, I am ready, but in truth their hearts are divided, compromised, entangled with sin and apathy. They expect mercy, but live in rebellion. They speak of his coming, but lie as if he will never return. When the trumpet sounds, when the heavens split, there will be no time left to prepare, no time to repent, no time to change, no time to fill your lamp with oil. Readiness is not something you can borrow from another. The wise cannot share their oil with the foolish. You must have it for yourself. You must live it, breathe it, walk in it daily. Readiness is not a momentary act, but a way of life. The enemy wants nothing more than to keep you distracted. He knows that if he cannot destroy you outright, he can lull you into sleep. He whispers, you have more time. Tomorrow is enough. Next week is enough. Later you can get serious. And so millions drift, postponing obedience, delaying surrender, convincing themselves that they will prepare later. But the cry will come at midnight suddenly without warning, and only those already prepared will rise to meet him. Do not make the mistake of the world. Do not demand dates and signs while ignoring the call to holiness. Do not wait for the calendar to reveal what heaven has already declared. He is coming, and he will come when the world least expects it. The day is not yours to know, but the choice to be ready is yours to make. Every hour you live is either preparation or procrastination. Every choice is oil in your lamp or emptiness in your vessel. Every moment is shaping your eternity. Do not waste it. Do not gamble with your soul on the hope of tomorrow, for tomorrow is not promised. The question is not when the King will return. The question is whether your life, your faith, your heart, your walk will be found ready when he does. When the trumpet sounds, will you rise in joy or will you be left behind in terror? When the heavens open, will you be embraced as the faithful bride, or will you hear the words, I never knew you? The choice is yours, and the time is now. Live ready, not for a date on the calendar, but for the moment that will change eternity forever. This is not the hour for compromise. Never has the call to stand apart been clearer than now. The world grows darker, and with every passing day, the line between light and darkness, truth and deception, grows thinner in the eyes of man. But heaven does not blur the lines. Heaven sees with perfect clarity. There is no gray before the throne, only holy and unholy, faithful and unfaithful, ready and unprepared. The greatest danger in this late hour is not open rebellion alone, but compromise that creeps in quietly, silently, until the heart no longer burns with the fire of God. Compromise is subtle. It whispers that a little sin is harmless, that a little worldliness will not hurt, that a little distraction is excusable. It tells you that you can love God and cling to the world at the same time, that you can speak of eternity yet live for the temporary. But compromise is the poison that dulls your spirit, drains your strength, and leaves you empty when the hour of testing comes. It does not steal your lamp in a moment. It empties it drop by drop until when the bridegroom comes, there is nothing left to burn. Look around you. This generation has exalted compromise. Holiness is mocked, righteousness despised, purity ridiculed. Even many who claim faith have traded truth for popularity, traded conviction for comfort, traded the eternal for the temporary. They say, it is enough to look holy while their hearts are bound to sin. They say, it is enough to be spiritual while their lives are chained to the same darkness as the world. But the call of this hour is not to look holy. It is to be holy. Not to speak of righteousness, but to walk in it with fear and trembling, knowing the King is at the door. The hour is too late to flirt with sin. The trumpet is too near to toy with temptation. Every compromise is a chain that binds you to this passing world. Every indulgence is a thread tying you down when you are meant to rise. When the sky splits open, nothing of this world will matter, not the opinions of man, not the comforts you clung to, not the treasures you stored. Only one thing will matter: did you live faithful, or did you compromise? Those who stood in compromise will tremble, but those who stood faithful will rejoice. The fire of holiness may cost you now. It may cost you friends, opportunities, pleasures, or even your life. But the fire of compromise will cost you eternity. Better to lose the world and gain the crown than to gain the world and be shut out of the wedding feast. This is the moment to draw the line. This is the time to cast off the sin that entangles, to break the chains that bind, to tear down the idols that take his place. Do not wait until tomorrow, for tomorrow may never come. Do not soothe your soul with the thought that there is still time. There is no more time for games, no more time for lukewarm living. The bridegroom is at the door, and he is not coming for a compromised bride, but for one spotless, blameless, pure and ready. The world will call you extreme. The world will call you foolish. The world will call you fanatical. But heaven will call you faithful. Heaven will call you chosen. Heaven will call you ready. So choose now. Stand apart now. Live holy now. For the hour of compromise has passed, and the hour of his coming is at hand. Every trial you have faced, every storm you have endured, every tear you have shed has not been wasted. You may have thought the battle was meant to break you, but heaven has used it to make you. You may have wondered why the fire was so fierce, why the valley was so long, why the weight was so heavy. But the truth is this: you are being prepared. Every hardship has been shaping you, refining you, training you for the moment that lies ahead. Gold is not refined in comfort, but in fire. Diamonds are not formed in ease, but under pressure. Soldiers are not prepared in peace, but in the crucible of war. And so it is with your soul. The trials you thought were meant for your destruction were actually forging you into something unshakable, something eternal, something ready for the final hour. Without the storms, your roots would be shallow. Without the fire, your faith would be fragile. Without the pain, your endurance would be weak. But through it all, you have been strengthened for what is coming. Do you not see it? Every attack of the enemy, every temptation, every disappointment was allowed not to defeat you, but to refine you. What the enemy meant for evil, God has turned for good. The betrayals you endured, the loneliness you carried, the nights you wept in silence, all of it has been part of the preparation. The very moments you thought you were forgotten were the very moments you were being hidden, sharpened, equipped for an hour greater than yourself. For the final stretch requires a people who cannot be shaken. When the nations tremble, you must stand. When the world collapses, you must remain. When the winds of lawlessness rage, you must not be moved. And so every storm behind you has been training ground for the storm ahead. Every valley you crossed has been building the endurance you will need for the midnight cry. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, thrown into prison. Every step looked like loss. Every chapter looked like defeat, yet each trial was positioning him for his appointed place, the moment when he would save a nation. Think of David, hunted by Saul, hiding in caves, facing giants. Each battle was not punishment, but preparation for the throne. Think of Esther, raised in obscurity, thrust into a palace, facing death itself, yet her trials made her ready to stand for her people in the hour of destiny. And think of you, your story is no different. Your battles are not wasted. They are forming you for the purpose written before the foundation of the world. Do not despise the wounds you carry. Do not curse the scars on your soul, for they are the marks of a warrior who has been trained for the final battle. They are reminders that you have endured and overcome. And if you have overcome in the past, you will overcome again. The God who carried you through yesterday will carry you through tomorrow. Soon the trumpet will sound. Soon the sky will open. Soon you will see that every tear was counted, every prayer was heard, every trial was used. You will stand before him clothed in white, and you will understand that none of it was wasted. Every battle was preparation. Every hardship was shaping you for glory. Every moment of pain was working in you an eternal weight of victory. So do not give up now. Do not grow weary. Do not let the enemy convince you that the fight is for nothing. The finish line is before you. The crown is waiting. And soon you will see with your own eyes what your trials have prepared you for, the return of the King. The countdown is not despair, it is hope. When the world hears of prophecy, of the end of days, of the final trumpet, fear grips their hearts. They see only judgment, only loss, only the collapse of all they know. But for those who watch, for those who belong to the bridegroom, the countdown is not a terror. It is a promise. It is not the sign of the end of life, but of the beginning of eternity. It is not the signal of destruction, but of redemption. The enemy wants you to see the signs of the times and tremble in dread. He wants you to hear of the storms, the wars, the shaking, and believe that all is lost. But heaven whispers a different truth. Lift up your head, for your redemption draws near. The countdown is not a funeral bell. It is the sound of approaching victory. The world is collapsing, but the kingdom is rising. Darkness is spreading, but the light is about to break forth. The enemy rages, but his time is short. Think of it, every tick of the clock, every passing day, every shift in history is one step closer to seeing him face to face. Every prophecy fulfilled is another confirmation that the bridegroom keeps his word. The countdown is heaven's reminder that this is not the end of hope, but the birth of glory. For 2,000 years, the people of God have waited, cried out, endured, longed for this moment. And now you live in the generation that sees the final chapters unfold. That is not despair. That is destiny. Do not be deceived by appearances. To the world, the collapse of nations looks like chaos. To the faithful, it is the shaking that must come before the kingdom unshakable is revealed. To the world, the rise of lawlessness looks like triumph. To the faithful, it is the sign that the judge is standing at the door. To the world, the trumpet will be terror. To the faithful, it will be joy unspeakable, the sound of reunion, the song of victory. Yes, the countdown is urgent. Yes, it warns of judgment. Yes, it calls the world to repentance before it is too late. But for the children of light, it is also the greatest hope. Imagine it, the sky breaking open, the King descending with power and glory, the dead in Christ rising, and you caught up in the clouds to meet him. No more pain, no more tears, no more waiting, no more battles. In one moment, everything will change. This is what the countdown points to. So do not fear the hour. Do not live in dread of what is coming. The world will shake, but you stand on a rock. Nations will fall, but your citizenship is in a kingdom that cannot be moved. The trumpet will sound, and it will not be the end of your story. It will be the beginning of the eternal chapter written for you before the foundation of the world. The countdown is not despair. It is a call to lift your eyes higher, to fix your heart deeper, to live with joy in the midst of sorrow, because you know where this road leads. Every day that passes is not a loss, but a step closer to home. Every sign fulfilled is not doom, but confirmation that your redemption is at hand. The bridegroom is near, the time is short, the world groans, but the bride rejoices. For soon the cry will pierce the midnight air, behold, the bridegroom comes, and those who are ready will rise, not in fear, but in triumph. The countdown has begun, and for the faithful, it is not a countdown to despair, it is a countdown to glory.